don't have to be a witch to find the magic in this world, but it does help. I may be powered by chaos, but I'm trying to bring a bit of order to the universe.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
We sure have come a long way since we first joined the Avengers together, way back when.
If only Pietro were here to share in the moment. But in my timeline, he is gone.
Hey, if anyone could outrun the end of all that is, Wanda, it's your brother.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! You have to stop them from securing the mission area. You know it's Galacta, daughter of Galactus, you idiots! Freeze!
Disappearing.
Perfect man, huh? I'm intrigued.
Chaos control!
Ah, that's better. Be right.
Just what the doctor ordered.
I am not the man I used to be. I have found a greater cause.
I don't have to be center stage.
Oh, sweet! Bumped and beautiful, baby!
Ah, here they are now.
My healing factor can't keep up.
Insignificant mess. Insignificant mess. I'm Hulk.
Never fall!
You are under my protection.
Here's how you... Get
I don't have to be center
I
stage.
feel like myself again.
Found a bad guy. Heads up, bad guys.
Be careful over here.
Help! I'm hurt pretty bad over here.
Nice deep freeze.
You get a weapon! You get a weapon! Bumped and beautiful, baby!
Much better. Pitiful.
Heads up, bad guys. Think up behind.
Disappear!
Come here, so many of them!
Born again!
Come protect our club! Second chances over.
Thanks for the shoot.
You never, never fall! What are you aiming at? Come on, I didn't come here to read.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Mutants always rise again.
You have disembodied cosmic voice.
Get back in action before I shut this whole thing down! See them? Right there! Better stop that vehicle!
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Stop scrolling and start moving, okay? They rated halfway! Stop them!
Down, Gunther! Entry for You get a weapon! You get a weapon! You get a weapon!
You shall not be harmed.
Behold the god of thunder!
I suck!
Didn't think I could take Thor.
You need not fear. I feel like myself again. You shall not be harmed.
Glad someone what are you aiming at? Gambit never falls!
Hey!
Better stop that vehicle! There's still a chance to stop them!
Rebirth is a mutant's greatest gift.
They hit a checkpoint! Now might be a good time to stop them.
I will crush them all.
Last moment and crush all the dudes.
You're really not okay, are you?
Deadpool's down. Thought I got you.
Better stop that vehicle!
For so long, I fought for mutant kind's future. Our time has finally arrived.
I require some aid.
Now or never! Stop them!
Rise, my Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
The multiverse offers endless possibilities, but only if it survives this chaos.
Better stop that vehicle! Don't give them another inch! Or else.
Feeling stronger already.
Chaos control!
Down, Gunther! Accuracy percentage!
Disappear!
What are you aiming at? You get a weapon! You get a weapon! You get a weapon!
I require some aid.
Be right back.
Got a full deck. Out on sea.
Take this loser out, would ya? This is the place!
You stopped them in their tracks!
Healing factor can't keep up! How about an assist?
Deadpool's just what the doctor ordered. Thought I got you.
Woo! I never miss! Usually you have to
Behold the god of thunder!
My fate now, a disappearing.
Gambit never falls! Double down!
You were under my spell.
Well, I expect a little more. Pick your hero.
This is
Or
Tongbei
villain.
Chuan,
I'm not judging.
China's most dangerous traditional kung fu. Here, the hands are as flexible and calm as a hunter's. The entire body's energy flows into the hands in an instant.
You don't have to be a witch to find the magic in this world, but it does help.
Shocking images that were seen tonight.
The 7 levels of Marvel gods. Level 1, the Earthly God.
The multiverse offers endless possibilities.
30 seconds before you
Heracles,
attack.
known in modern
Get
times as
ready.
Hercules, is one of Marvel's most prominent earthly gods and the son of Zeus, king of the Olympian gods. As a demigod born from Zeus and the mortal Alcmena, Hercules represents the first level of godhood in Marvel. Powerful beings tied to Earth's mythologies who operate primarily on a planetary scale rather than cosmic. Despite being only level 1, Hercules is still incredibly powerful and has been a crucial hero in the Marvel
The battle
universe for
starts in
decades.
5,
Hercules possesses
4,
superhuman strength
3,
that's among the highest
2,
on Earth, able to
1.
lift well over 100 tons. Some estimates place his strength as being able to lift around 150 tons, making him physically stronger than Thor in pure lifting capacity. His Olympian physiology grants him near invulnerability to conventional weapons, superhuman stamina that lets him fight for days without tiring, and immortality that's kept him alive for over 3,000 years without aging. He's a master combatant trained in ancient Greek fighting styles and has millennia of battle experience. Throughout his time in Marvel Comics, Hercules has accomplished incredible feats. He's held up the heavens like in his mythological counterpart stories, fought the Hulk to standstills multiple times, survived battles with cosmic-level threats, punched out Celestials, and even temporarily held the power of the universe itself during the chaos war story. He's been a member of the Avengers, the Champions, and various other superhero teams, bringing godly power to Earth's defenders. However, what places Hercules at level 1 is that his power, while immense, is fundamentally tied to Earth and mortal concepts. He's incredibly strong and durable, but he can be injured, knocked unconscious, and even killed under the right circumstances. He's died and been resurrected multiple times in Marvel continuity. His power doesn't extend to reality warping, cosmic awareness, or universal influence. He's a god in the mythological sense, vastly more powerful than mortals, immortal and superhuman, but not a cosmic force. Hercules also has very human flaws, despite his confidence. His arrogance, loves to bring the struggles with his temper, and has made countless mistakes driven by pride. These human weaknesses are credited to his mortal. Keep him grounded in the world, but also limit him compared to higher-tier gods who transcended such mortal limits. He represents the classical Greek hero, powerful, flawed, and ultimately still connected to the mortal world he protects. Level 2, the Pantheon leaders. Odin. Odin Gorson, the All-Father of Asgard, is the king of the Norse gods and one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe. As the leader of the Asgardian pantheon and father of Thor, Odin represents the pinnacle of pantheon-level gods, beings who rule over entire godless civilizations and wield power that dwarfs individual gods like Hercules. Odin has ruled Asgard for millennia, and his power is the stuff of legends even among gods. Odin possesses the Odin Force, also called the Odin Power, which is an immensely powerful magical energy that grants him near limitless abilities. With the Odin Force, Odin can manipulate vast amounts of magical energy in various effects, including energy projection that can destroy galaxies, matter manipulation, illusion casting, telepathy on a cosmic scale, the ability to grant or remove powers from others, time manipulation, and even limited reality warping. His physical strength rivals Hercules, but is enhanced by the Odin Force to levels that let him battle Galactus and other cosmic entities. Odin's feats are staggering for a Pantheon-level god. He's fought Galactus and actually made the Devourer of Worlds retreat, one of the few times Galactus has been forced to withdraw. He's battled Surtur, the fire demon, across multiple realms, destroyed entire galaxies during conflicts, created pocket dimensions, enchanted Mjolnir with magic so powerful that it defines what worthiness means across reality, and his battles with other Skyfather-level gods have shattered humans. He once headbutted Galactus and drew blood, showcasing the raw power at his command. The Odin Force grows stronger the longer Odin rules, feeding on the beliefs of those who follow him. This means Odin's power is established. It increases with time, making him progressively more powerful throughout his eternal reign. However, wielding the Odin Force requires Odin to enter the Odin sleep periodically, a death-like trance where he recharges and is vulnerable. This cyclical weakness is one of the few things that keeps Odin from being unstoppable. What places Odin at level 2 is that he represents the peak of pantheon gods, the Skyfathers who rule godly realms. He's more powerful than any individual member of his pantheon can fight cosmic level threats, and his magic operates on a scale that affects solar systems. However, he's still tied to Asgard and the 9 realms. His power, while immense, is primarily focused on his domain. He can affect the wider universe, but he's not an abstract concept or a cosmic force. He's a king, albeit a godly one, with responsibilities and limitations that come with ruling a pantheon. Level 3, the cosmic deities. Galactus, the devourer of worlds, is one of Marvel's most iconic cosmic entities and represents the transition from pantheon gods to true cosmic deities. Originally Galen of Thoth in the universe that existed before the current Marvel universe, Galactus is the sole survivor of the previous cosmos who merged with the sentience of that dying universe during the Big Bang. He's not just a powerful being, he's a fundamental force of nature, a cosmic constant necessary for the universe's balance and function. Galactus possesses the power cosmic, an energy source of nearly unlimited potential that grants him abilities beyond comprehension. He can manipulate matter and energy on a universal scale, restructure entire solar systems, create life, bestow incredible powers on others, his heralds like Silver Surfer, teleport across galaxies instantly, perceive events across space and time, and possesses technology so advanced it appears as magic to lesser beings. His power is so vast that he's virtually immune to all conventional attacks and can only be threatened by cosmic level entities or reality. What makes Galactus a cosmic deity rather than just a powerful god is his role in the universe's function. He doesn't just exist in the universe, he's necessary. Galactus devours planets not out of evil, but because he must consume energy to survive, and his existence prevents the emergence of Abraxas, a being of pure destruction that would annihilate all reality. He's part of the cosmic balance, serving as both destroyer and preserver. The Celestials, who are themselves god-tier beings, acknowledge Galactus as serving an essential function. Galactus's feats operate on a cosmic scale that dwarfs planetary gods. He's consumed thousands of planets across billions of years, fought multiple Celestials simultaneously, battled Ego the Living Planet, survived attacks from teams of Avengers and Fantastic Four, and his mere presence can warp reality around him. When fully fed, Galactus can threaten entire galaxies and has fought against abstract entities like Eternity. He once consumed the energy of multiple universes and grew to a size where he dwarfed entire galaxies. However, Galactus has a crucial weakness that keeps him at level 3 rather than higher: his constant hunger. He must regularly consume the life energy of planets to maintain his power. When starving, his power diminishes dramatically to the point where even superhero teams can threaten him. This dependency on sustenance, while cosmic in scale, is still a limitation that prevents him from being truly omnipotent. A fully fed Galactus is near unstoppable, but he's never permanently at full power. What places Galactus at level 3 is that he operates on a cosmic scale, but within physical laws. Even if those laws are cosmic in scope, he travels through space, consumes physical matter, and while incredibly powerful, he exists within the universe rather than transcending it. He's a god who shapes galaxies and whose actions affect billions of lives, but he's not yet an abstract concept or a being beyond physical form. He's the bridge between gods who rule realms and entities who embody universal concepts. Level 4, the abstract entities. Eternity. Eternity is one of Marvel's cosmic abstracts and represents a fundamental shift from physical cosmic beings to conceptual entities. Eternity is the living embodiment of the Marvel universe itself. Not just in the universe, but literally is the universe. Every atom, every star, every planet, every dimension, every moment of time, and every living being exists within Eternity's body. He's not a god who rules reality. He is reality given consciousness and form. As an abstract entity, Eternity's power operates on a completely different scale from physical beings like Galactus. Eternity can manipulate the fundamental forces of the universe because they're part of his being. He has absolute control over space, time, and reality within his universe. He can alter physical laws, reshape galaxies with a thought, exist in all places simultaneously, and perceive all events occurring within his universe at once. His sister or counterpart is Infinity, who represents all of time while Eternity represents all of space. Together they form the totality of the universe's existence. Eternity's existence is tied directly to the universe itself. He was born with the Big Bang and will exist until the universe ends, at which point he transforms into his opposite, entropy, before being reborn as Eternity again in the next universal cycle. This means Eternity has existed for billions of years and is essentially immortal in any practical sense. Destroying Eternity would mean destroying the entire universe and vice versa. They're inseparable. Throughout Marvel Comics, Eternity has served as a cosmic judge and protector of universal balance. Heroes like Doctor Strange and Adam Warlock have petitioned Eternity directly when facing threats to all reality. Eternity has intervened in cosmic conflicts, fought against his evil counterpart Abraxas, battled other abstract entities, and even been defeated temporarily by beings like the Beyonder or Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, though such defeats required reality-warping power on a multiversal scale. What makes Eternity level 4 is that he's transcended physical limits to become a conceptual entity. He's not a being with powers, he's a fundamental aspect of existence that happens to have consciousness. Fighting Eternity isn't like fighting a god, it's like fighting the universe itself. He exists beyond conventional concepts of strength or durability because he's everywhere and everything simultaneously. However, Eternity is limited to his universe. There are multiple Eternities across the Marvel multiverse, one for each universe, which prevents him from being truly omniversal. Eternity also has superiors.
30 seconds before
The
you
Living
attack.
Tribunal judges
Get
over
ready.
all Eternities and can override his decisions, and the one above all exists above even that. This hierarchy means that while Eternity is functionally the supreme being of his universe, he's still part of a larger cosmic structure. He's an abstract entity whose power within his universe is nearly absolute, but who acknowledges higher authorities and operates within the rules established by those above him in the cosmic hierarchy.
3, 2,
Level 5, the
1.
multiversal powers.
All you need
The
to
Living
do is
Tribunal.
capture the mission area.
The Living
Got it?
Tribunal is the supreme cosmic judge of the Marvel multiverse and represents the highest level of cosmic authority below the absolute supreme being. While Eternity embodies a single universe, the Living Tribunal exists across and above all universes simultaneously, serving as the hand of the one above all to maintain balance across infinity. He's not just powerful, he's the multiversal arbiter whose judgments are absolute and whose authority supersedes all cosmic entities.
Double KO.
The Living Tribunal possesses 3 faces representing 3 aspects of cosmic justice: equity, necessity, and vengeance. These 3 faces judge whether entire universes should continue to exist or be destroyed. His 4th face, which remains covered, is said to be the face of the one above all himself. The Living Tribunal's power is absolute within the multiverse. He can destroy entire universes that have become corrupted or unbalanced, make judgments that even Eternity and other abstract entities must obey, and maintain the cosmic order across infinite realities. What places the Living Tribunal at level 5 is his multiversal scope and authority. He exists in all universes simultaneously and can perceive all of reality. His judgments affect not just one universe, but the entire multiverse. When he destroyed a universe during the Infinity Gauntlet saga, ruling that its existence threatened cosmic balance, even Thanos, with complete control over his universe's Infinity Stones, couldn't stop him. The Infinity Gauntlet, which grants near omnipotence within a single universe, has no effect on the Living Tribunal because he exists beyond individual universal laws. The Living Tribunal is immune to reality warping, time manipulation, and essentially all forms of attack that operate within universal parameters. He exists outside normal causality, and his decisions are final. Throughout Marvel history, cosmic beings like Eternity and Galactus have petitioned the Living Tribunal for judgment, acknowledging him as the supreme authority. Even the Celestials, who are themselves god-tier beings, respect the Living Tribunal's authority. However, the Living Tribunal isn't truly omnipotent or omniscient. He was killed during the Time Runs Out storyline by the Beyonders, though it took 3 omniversal-level beings working together to do it, and his death was treated as an apocalyptic event that threatened all of reality. This shows that while the Living Tribunal is the supreme judge of the multiverse, there are still forces that can threaten him. His death also proves he's not invincible, even if killing him requires multiversal scale power. The Living Tribunal also serves the one above all, and acts according to a cosmic mandate rather than a personal will. He's the ultimate enforcer of multiverse, but he's still serving a higher power and operating within rules established by that supreme being. He can't act arbitrarily. His judgments, while final, must align with maintaining cosmic balance as defined by the one above all. What places the Living Tribunal at level 5 is that he represents multiversal authority and power. He exists beyond individual universes, can affect infinite realities simultaneously, and his power operates on a scale where even cosmic abstracts bow to his judgment. He's the god of gods, the judge of cosmic entities, and the supreme authority of the
I'm
multiverse.
ready to put on a show!
However, he's still not the absolute supreme being. He serves the one above all.
By the eye of Okamoto!
He's multiversal power incarnate, but not yet truly omnipotent. Level 6, the Omniversal Forces. The Beyonder, Pre-Retcon Beyonder from the original Secret Wars represents one of the most overpowered entities ever written in Marvel Comics and operates at a level that transcends even multiversal authority. The Beyonder was stated to be from beyond the Marvel multiverse, existing in his own dimension, where he was literally everything. The sum total of a universe into himself. When he became aware of the Marvel multiverse, he was described as being millions of times more powerful than the entire Marvel multiverse combined. The Beyonder's power was essentially unlimited within the context he was written. He could manipulate reality on any scale, create and destroy universes casually, grant or remove powers at will, resurrect the dead, alter fundamental cosmic laws, and perceive all of existence simultaneously. He was stated to be omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent within his realm, and near omnipotent when interacting with the Marvel universe. The only reason he wasn't completely omnipotent in Marvel was because he was learning about concepts like desire, limitation, and mortality. During Secret Wars, the Beyonder casually transported heroes and villains across galaxies, created the Battle World planet from pieces of multiple worlds, killed and resurrected beings at will. And Dr. Doom, after stealing the Beyonder's power, stated he could feel the power of millions of universes at his command. The Beyonder fought the entire cosmic hierarchy of Marvel, including Eternity, Galactus, the Celestials, and others, and defeated them all effortlessly. His battle with the Molecule Man threatened to destroy the entire multiverse. What makes pre-Retcon Beyonder an omniversal force at level 6 is that his power explicitly transcended the multiverse itself. He existed outside and beyond the Marvel cosmology, and his power dwarfed multiversal entities like the Living Tribunal. He was written as being more powerful than the sum total of everything in Marvel combined. This placed him at a level where normal cosmic hierarchies didn't apply. He was the ultimate power from outside the system. However, the Beyonder had crucial limitations that prevent him from being level 7. Despite his immense power, he lacked understanding of the universe he was interacting with. He didn't comprehend concepts like mortality, limitation, or even his own nature. This ignorance led to him being manipulated and eventually defeated through exploiting his lack of knowledge rather than matching his power. He was also later retconned into being a cosmic cube that gained sentience, massively depowering him and changing his origin to make him less omnipotent. The pre-retcon version, though, represents omniversal power, a being from outside the multiverse whose power exceeded everything within it. He was beyond the Living Tribunal's jurisdiction, because he came from outside the system.
You'll need a top-notch
The Living
team
Tribunal
to win
governed.
this one.
He was the ultimate expression of external, incomprehensible power, a god from beyond the boundaries of reality itself, whose power was limited only by his own naivety and eventual retconning by Marvel to bring him back into manageable power levels. Level 7, the Supreme Being, the One Above All. The One Above All is the supreme being of the Marvel Omniverse and represents the absolute pinnacle of power, authority, and existence in Marvel Comics. He's not just the most powerful god, he's the god, capital G, the creator of everything that exists in Marvel. Every universe, every multiverse, every dimension, every cosmic entity, every hero, every villain, and every abstract concept exists because the One Above All willed it into being. He's the ultimate, the absolute, the alpha and omega of Marvel Comics. The One Above All is truly omnipotent. He can do literally anything without limitation or restriction. He's truly omniscient.
And yet there you are, bathed in red.
The battle starts in 5, 4,
He knows
3,
everything that has
2,
happened, is
1.
happening, and will happen across infinite realities. He's truly omnipresent. He exists everywhere and nowhere, in all places and times simultaneously. These aren't hyperbolic.
Help get that vehicle
Within
to
Marvel's
destination.
cosmology, the One Above All is definitively the supreme being above whom nothing exists and from whom all existence flows. The one above all rarely appears in Marvel Comics, and when he does, he typically takes the form of Jack Kirby, or other Marvel creators representing the metatextual reality that the creators themselves are the true gods of the Marvel Universe. This self-aware representation acknowledges that the one above all is essentially the personification of Marvel Comics' creative force. When he appears, reality itself acknowledges his supreme authority. Cosmic entities bow, abstract beings defer, and even the living tribunal serves him. The one above all's power is so absolute that there's no conflict at his level. He doesn't fight because there's nothing that can challenge him. He doesn't struggle because struggle implies opposition, and nothing can oppose him. He exists in perfect, ultimate power beyond any concept of limitation. Every power, every ability, every feat accomplished by any being in Marvel ultimately comes from him because he created them and therefore he's the source of all that is. Throughout Marvel's history, the one above all has been the final authority. When the living tribunal was killed by the Beyonders, the one above all was the one who eventually allowed his resurrection. When reality itself was threatened during various cosmic crises, the one above all's existence ensured that reality could be restored. He's the ultimate failsafe, the supreme guarantee that Marvel's omniverse will continue to exist because he wills it. What places the one above all at level 7, the absolute supreme being level, is that there is no higher. He's not part of a hierarchy with someone above him. He is the top of all hierarchies. He doesn't serve anyone, doesn't answer to anyone, and doesn't have any limitations except those he chooses to impose on himself. He's the ultimate expression of divine power and fiction. The truly omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent creator deity who exists beyond all challenge, all conflict, and all limitation. The one above all represents the theological concept of God translated into the Marvel Universe. He's not a character who fights or has adventures because he exists beyond such concepts. He's the fundamental reality underlying all of Marvel Comics. The creative force, the supreme will, the ultimate consciousness that makes everything else possible. When Marvel characters speak of fate, destiny, or divine will, they're ultimately referring to the one above all's design. He's the God above all gods, the power beyond all powers, and the supreme being in whose image all other powers are mere shadows. There is nothing beyond him, nothing above him, and nothing that can challenge him. He simply is in the most absolute sense possible.
The cosmos heals you. What are you aiming at?
Yesterday I talked about Tigard and how a number of corporate journalists have been very upset with gamers for not supporting their latest slot. And since then, they've only gotten even more upset. And not just the corporate journalists, but even a number of high-profile AAA game devs have come out expressing their support for Tigard and their anger towards gamers for once again not supporting this. We have Zen Dinka here, the Larian CEO, and it's unfortunate to see him making some really bad takes right now. This is someone who, of course, has made some great games. He's made some good points in the past regarding the state of the industry. Like I said, his current takes are rather unfortunate. He starts by making a take that essentially is aggressive and tries to support Tigard and dislikes towards people mocking Tigard, as well as a deleted tweet, which I will show you in a moment. Let's start with the initial tweet here, taken from the top. It says, "I don't like people crashing on things others have created. Putting something out into the world makes you vulnerable, and that alone deserves respect, even if you dislike the creation. It's easy to destroy things. It's a lot harder to build it. The best critics understand this. Even when they're being critical, they do their best not to hurt them. I mean, the fact of the matter is, we don't owe these people anything, including respect. Hey, they made Slop and it was great. What, we're supposed to respect that? I don't think so, man. Again, I appreciate some of the stuff he's done for the industry, but I do not agree with this one. Not trying to hate on the dude, but yeah, I just don't think the point's very good. Then there is the deleted tweet that was posted next. This one says, "Sometimes I think it would be a good idea for critics to be scored, Metacritic style, based on how others evaluate their criticism. I like to imagine it would encourage a bit more restraint. The harsh words do real damage. You shouldn't have to grow callous on your soul just because you want to publish something." This is essentially a call for like a Reddit tier system, Again, the context here is not gaming journalists. He is implied to be defending Highguard and upset at people mocking it, which largely is coming from Steam reviews, individuals making videos, comments on various social media platforms, etc. Which again implies that the context of him wanting critics to be evaluated is
This is real!
This is a Reddit system where it can easily be abused and result in people getting censored. Over on Reddit, for example, we see that anyone outside of the popular opinion gets massively downvoted. In many cases, moderators even step in, they outright remove those posts, or even ban those accounts. And then the whole thing with him saying the harsh words do real damage. The phrasing on that is concerning because I've seen the biggest manipulative usually the exact same where they're totally fine with people saying that they're on their side, but as soon as they start getting criticism back, suddenly they start talking about how it needs to tone down, or that the language is too harsh, that it causes real damage, etc., etc. I'll give you guys a quick example of what I mean. I'll elaborate on this later. In 2025, there was the English VA strike against Hoyoverse, which is a part of a larger strike in SAG-AFTRA against the gaming industry. And the Hoyoverse side, they were trying to call it collective bargaining, whatever. But they were striking against Hoyoverse, and they wanted gamers to support them. And they said that the strike was only for AI protection. Well, over time, gamers read into this more, we got more information, and we saw that was actually a lie. What they really wanted was to monopolize the industry. And they wanted to force every VA on Hoyoverse games to be a part of their very corrupt union, SAG-AFTRA. And any VA that wasn't a part of the union, and therefore would go on to refuse joining the union, they wanted that VA fired, terminated, and replaced with
This video from China looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, except it's real.
You know what? I'm starting to feel bad for Highguard, the next gigantic multiplayer game, first-person shooter online game that's coming out to much criticism from the gamer and fan base, all because of its associations, because nowadays gamers judge a book by its cover, and that is the standard that a lot of gamers are following right now. Everyone's gonna say, oh, that's just how gamers have always been. We always judge book by their covers, whether it's the cover art of video games, whether it's the art on the CD or disc itself, or the commercials. We always judge games by their cover, but I think even more so now than even in the past, because right now we judge you by your associations. If you're associating with something that we see as something that is not creative, that is not natural, that is false, that's always lying to us and deceiving us, we're gonna treat you as an enemy of the gamer. And that's what's happening with Highguard now, because it came out with a popular presentation at the Game Awards. Recommendation by Jeff Keighley, the creator of the Game Awards itself. It had a free advertisement spot where it was located at the end of the show. It had all the hype and attention, and the gamers immediately had a backlash towards this game because they look at the game itself saying, hey, we saw some of these design styles. Maybe it's like Concord 2.0. Maybe it's like Dragon Age Veilguard. Maybe it's like Avowed. Maybe it's like so much other games that have come out in the past. And I think that is the thing that's working against this game, where it has shades of so much terrible games that gamers are immediately associating this game with that, and it's being associated with the Game Awards itself that elevates those terrible games. You just saw at the Game Awards, Ghost of Yorte was nominated in almost every category and was a terrible game. We saw this with South of Midnight winning an award at the Game Awards, and this is just the state of gaming. If you're associated or have imagery that is closely knit to terrible games, people are going to throw you in that category. And I think that's what we saw with Highguard. It's thrown in the Concord category, the Flintlock, the Kill the Justice League, the Outlaw category, the Assassin's Creed category, the Dragon Age Veilguard category, because those games represent the modern day gaming era. And that's what everyone is trying to spot out now. Everyone's trying to suss out what's the next terrible game they're trying to trick me to pay my money for. And I think that's what people are seeing with the modern day gaming environment. They're tired of being tricked into games that are absolutely terrible. So now they're judging things even more harshly, not even only by your book cover or the character designs or the overall art style. No, they're judging you by your association. If you're associated with the Game Awards, they're gonna think you're associated with the same products that promoted games like Intergalactic, games like Dragon Age Veilguard, games like Dustborn. They're gonna think you're in that same ilk, and I think that's the same thing we keep seeing, that you're associated with games like Starfield or Saints Row, the modern day version. You're gonna think that is your stronghold of support, those entities that have tricked them into purchasing terrible games, and that association with that terrible list of games is dragging down Highguard, because for the most part, Highguard seems like an okay game to me. It looks like a game that has all these creative ends. It doesn't really do the same things that we see with Call for. The character designs are actually good for all the characters. I think this is a game that was actually made by gamers themselves. And that is what I see when I hear the developers talk about the game. You look at the developers, they look like gamers. They talk like gamers. And they talk about all the exciting things they wanted to do with this game. They have the same mindset of a gamer where they're saying, hey, we want to smash in the extraction shooter, base building in Fortnite, put in the Apex Legends combat system, we want to do all this crazy and far out stuff. And that kind of is the game developer's mindset, trying to smash in all these elements and create something new and creative. And I think that's the thing I see with this game. The character designs look good for all the characters. This is not Concord 2.0. Concord designs are not here. A lot of the female character designs look good. The male character designs look good. The diverse characters don't look hideous and ugly. They look pretty cool as well. And I think that's the changing element that I see with this game, where the game looks actually good. All the character designs look good. They have male character designs that look actually manly and not so feminine. And I think that's the thing that you would want from a game like this. And I think we do get it. This game seems to be made by gamers, and I think that's the thing that we have to notice about some of these games coming out. Not all of them are Switch debut supported. I think Highguard is getting the short end of the stick, because it's coming out at a time where gamers are not giving any leeway to any game that has any association to terrible games. And I think gamers immediately associated this game with games like Concord because we saw games like Concord promoted by the Game Awards. So we expect them to promote terrible games. So we never expect them to promote an actual quality game. So that's the thing gamers are judging it by, and we're seeing that result with some of the negative reviews. I think the negative reviews are going a little too harshly. At least some people have some real complaints where they have to wait a long time to get into line to play the game. Maybe there's some bugs there, but there are some launch bugs for a lot of games. And I think that's the thing that we're seeing right now, this backlash to these games based on its association. That is the scary thing in the modern day gaming environment. I don't really blame the gamers, because gamers just spent like hundreds of dollars on terrible games and got nothing out of it. They just got a poor experience. Now gamers are gun shy, they're putting out terrible reviews. People just don't like what they're seeing in and of itself with some of the bugs and crashes, and that's okay. I think that's a strong complaint. If you do have that, they probably will fix that. But you see some of the reviews here, people are complaining about Jeff Keighley, saying, hey, this is promoted at the Game Awards. I don't care about this game. It's probably terrible. I got tricked by Jeff Keighley in the past. And that's the thing that we're seeing now. This is not only being promoted by Jeff Keighley, it's being promoted by all the outlets that have lied and deceived us. So you see Highguard, it's being promoted by Polygon, Kotaku, and all these other gaming review sites. And gamers don't trust those gaming review sites, because they've lied about everything. Polygon has put out a post saying, hey, Dragon Age Veilguard is actually great. Assassin's Creed Shadows is actually great. Dustborn is actually great. Everything is great, according to Polygon. So when they say Highguard isn't dead on arrival, it's probably one of the best shooters, gamers are like, oh, you like all the terrible games. So this must be one of those terrible games. This is that cycle of guilt by association we see developing for Highguard. It's getting all the wrong promotion here. And I think the promotion is killing it in a way that it probably couldn't even understand. And like I said, this is not Concord 2.0. Just looking at the numbers, has 97,000 people playing this game. That is well above the 600 players for Concord, and that is the big difference. This still looks like a quality game, and I think that's the thing people are noticing. Concord really didn't have that opportunity because it destroyed itself with its terrible character design. The characters look absolutely atrocious, and no one really wanted to play as a gigantic cafeteria lady auntie. No one wants to play as a box-headed lesbian. No one wants to play as a Black Lives Matter activist. No one wants to play play as a non-binary alien. Nobody wants to play as a Chinese grandma. No one wants to play as the Indian cafeteria. No one wants to play as these characters. And I think that's the opposite of what we're seeing with High Guard. People want to play as these characters that they're looking at. The designs look pretty good. And I think it's a solid representation of the fan base and what they want to see from these types of games. I think the game itself has some quality elements, and it kind of has a mixture of Fortnite base building, all these things that I really not too interested in of itself, but seeing this game, I'm like, okay, this looks like a pretty intriguing mixture where you have to gather resources too, you have to make and base build. Of course, you have some capture the flag elements. So you have all these things that are kind of included in this that captures my interest a little bit because it absolutely has all these elements that are independent of each other that seem like they could be their own games, but coming together makes some unique experiences. I think we may be surprised about the game itself once people play it. I'm going to play right after this, so I'm enjoying some of the parts that I did see already. So it has my attention. I'm really interested in playing something new, and this feels like something new. So I'm going to give it a try. I feel bad for the position it's in. I think the developers themselves actually look like gamers. They talk like gamers. Their enthusiasm for this feels like it's a gamer developer-led team that is just focused on making something fun and interesting. And this is what I miss from the old days of gaming, where game developers are just making things for fun. And I feel like this has all the elements of, hey, someone's just mixing old-fashioned medieval with horses, with fantasy, with just action shooters and Fortnite. I'm like, okay, this person is just putting something and throwing it on the wall and trying to see what sticks. I kind of enjoy that instinctual feeling from game developers. I feel bad for High Guard. Hopefully people support it if they do like playing it. Give it a chance, and I think we'll actually have a game or shooter that is viable on the market. But that's just my 2 cents on the situation. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. This is Ragnar Knows Why. Catch you next time.
This game is going to reinvent the FPS genre and become the next big thing, or is this going to just nail and build instantly, basically become Concord 2.0? Well, I decided to spend a few hours of my life that I'm never going to get back and actually played High Guard myself live on stream. From my very first game of it, even the tutorial, all live so everyone could watch and suffer with me. And I can confidently say from the 2.5 hours High Guard that I played that this game is everything Title 1 for modern FPS games pretty much, all like summed up in one nice package. Let me get the good things out of the way first, okay? I like the horse, or I guess the mounts in general. I like the idea of being able to jump on my horse and immediately rush around and get the places quicker. Yeah, I know, it's not a revolutionary mechanic, but I got really slim pickings here on what I actually like about the game. The gunplay, as in like the moment-to-moment shooting, is fine. I mean, it's not Call of Duty or Battlefield, Destiny, also
Battle starts in
as well, I gotta admit, but the shooting isn't bad. It's serviceable. What else do I even like about this? That's about it, I guess. Well, some of the powers were a bit interesting in concept too. Achilles, I think that's his name. I don't know. The lightning guy on the cover of the game. I found his lightning spear idea to be interesting. That it was sort of like a landmine that sparked enemies and hunted them around them. And there was another guy named Kai who can make ice walls that you could push, I guess. Like, you see, the thing about High Guard is that there are like some good ideas in this game. There's something here, I will admit, for what has been done with like what's available as a session, it couldn't be further from what I would want to reasonably engage with on a regular basis. I also brought this up in my stream, but I noticed that the only progression, I guess, was the currency that you could obtain in the game. There was a premium currency with, yes, High Guard has a fully functional cosmetic store, day one, because of course it does, but besides that, all you really obtain between missions are 2 other coin-like versions, I guess. You have the silver coins that can be spent at a shop to buy in-game cosmetics for the characters, I guess. Most of these are also really expensive, and they will take multiple games to afford, even like one thing, and then the other currency, which was purple, gets used in these mini battle passes. Sort of like Helldivers 2 or Arc Raiders, you know, to buy other cosmetics that change things like how the guns look for certain characters. But besides that, there was no other progression that I could really see in the game. At this point, there's no level up, there's no boss, there's no reason to really get proficient or really show people what I'm value about the game. At least in, say, Marvel Rivals, right? When you play a hero a lot, you rank them all the way to Lords, and you unlock these like, new cosmetics, items, show up your dedication, hero of your choice. And your overall account levels up too in Marvel Rivals. But here in Highgarden, there's just like the currency, and that's it pretty much. I mean, no way of knowing that the other team or like even your team is some experienced player outside of maybe them wearing some skin that they either bought with real money or in-game coins, but that's really it. It's just a weird way of doing it. It kind of reminds me, honestly, of Concord a lot, which is not what you want to say at all. And then there's the actual game, however, which is like a very weird structure that personally, I just don't see how this is going to survive. So let me run you through how it works exactly. So you pick a hero, obviously, and then spawn in the castle, I guess, and then you're doing the god of thunder! A certain amount of walls in your base, if you will. I usually just reinforce the walls around the main crystal in your base. Because if your crystal blows up, you're cooked basically, and then you lose the game. So I would just do that every single time. So once you reinforce whatever wall you want, you then do, well, nothing. I'm not even kidding. I just stand there waiting. This section is like a full-blown minute, and about half an hour of that, you just kind of wait and stand there and just then the barrier around your base rush out on your horse, and then you enter this big open-world environment where you can go and find stuff like blue crystals. I will admit, there's a neat little time sequence smash mechanic to the crystals, and if you manage to do it right, then your next crystal smash will automatically blow up the next one, so you can then mine faster. So I guess that was a cool touch, but besides collecting the blue crystals, which you can then spend at the shop with the armor and stuff like that, the only other thing you can find in the open world is blue chests, helmets, for example. Helmets, by the way, you reduce how much headshot damage you take, and then you can find red chests. You have blue chests that you can then take in, obviously, the quarterly management and what's available in each of them. The rarity is also like other things you've seen, you know, raised common, looted, orange is the best, like any other like this. Anyways, besides that, you just collect items to stock up and then get stronger. However, bizarrely, there's nothing else to do in the open world section. There's no enemies to shoot or wildlife or patrols or enemies. There's nothing. Literally nothing. It's just a big empty valley with chests to open and blue crystals to mine. If you haven't noticed, in both the opening segment of a match and this gathering section, if you will, in this FPS game, you never shoot your gun, even once. It's correct. I get it, you do that in say Fortnite or Call of Duty too, but at least in those smaller skirmishes and such, like, you know, things can happen, like people can like ambush you and whatever as you collect things out of chests. Here it doesn't really happen, or it just didn't happen anyway, but eventually we entered the sword phase, I guess I'm gonna call it. So each team has a castle, and then this sword that spawns, which is in the middle of the map, is how you start to siege on your enemy's castle. As the sword regenerates into its physical form, your team and the enemies can then rush this sword. This is where you are finally able to shoot other players and actually play the game now. The battles, they can be intense, but they still feel small regardless, because in case you